Hey, in today's bass lesson, I want to show you a simple trick that can transform your bass fills. I'll see you inside the lesson. Hey, it's James here from eBassGuitar, and I've always been super inspired by players such as Pino Palladino, who can play incredible groove in the lower register of the bass guitar, then every so often put these really tasty fills up in the higher notes or the upper register of the bass guitar, which sounds super cool. So I'm going to show you a trick today called the chord tone approach fill, which will show you how to do just this. But first off, I'd love to know, who is your favorite bass player? Pino has to be one of mine, so please let me know in the comments below. So just before we hit the lesson content today, I want you to know there's a completely free PDF which comes with this lesson, which is showing you everything we're discussing today written out in standard notation and tab. You can grab your free copy in the description below. So today we're going to be using a chord sequence which is simply a bar of G minor 7 to a bar of C7. This is often commonly referred to as a 2-5 groove, and you'll hear this in a lot of songs, from Mr. Magic by Grover Washington through to Good Times by Chic through to She's Not There by the Zombies. It's a common super chord sequence which is really great to jam on. So today we're going to be creating fills over the C7 chord. But first of all, I want to make sure that you understand and know the arpeggios or the chord tones for both of the two chords that we're using today. So first off, the G minor 7 chord tones or arpeggios is simply a G, a B flat, a D and an F. That's the root, the flattened third, the fifth and the flattened seventh, like that. And then the C7, these are the critical ones that you must understand to make this concept work, is simply a C, an E, a G, and a B flat. So the root, the third, the fifth, and the flattened seventh. So we're going to put a simple groove to this to begin with, which is simply... That's just the root notes, 3 of those. Like so, and that will be our foundational groove which will work over the first 2 beats of each bar. Now this original idea came from a bass line I transcribed by the great jazz bass player Ray Brown, who played this line, which sounds fantastic, but when I took it apart I realized what he was doing was he was approaching each of the chord tones, so the C, the E, the G and the B flat, if we play those all on the G string, from 2 half steps below. So if we play the C and then our next chord tone is an E, he'd approach it from a D sharp and an E, like that, so 2 single frets below. And he'd do that for the G, so he'd approach from the F sharp, G, and then for the B flat there, he'd approach from an A flat, an A natural, a B flat, and then you could do the same to get to the octave up there. You could approach from a B flat, a B natural, and an F like that. Sorry, a B flat, a B natural, and a C like that. So this is a great device that I figured out you could use to create really effective, funky bass fills. So I want to show you how this basic concept works now. So this is our fundamental groove. Then we're going to add a 3-note fill which starts on beat 3 and of the second bar. And to show you this in action, we're simply going to approach to the octave C like that. So we're going to approach from the flattened 7th, the major 7th, and the octave like that. So a B flat, a B natural, and a C like that. So it's 1, 2, 3. And that C lands dead on the 4th beat. So if you want to just play that in isolation, it's simply this: 1, 2, 3. And that lands on the 4th beat. So that is a really simple, effective fill. But what we can do now with that 3-note fill is we can use it to approach each of the chord tones. So we can go up to the E, we can do from a D sharp and an E like that. So let me show you that. Then we can also do it to get to the G there, so that we would be approaching from an F sharp and a G like that. So And we can do it to get to the B flat as well. Like so. So we're hitting the flattened seventh there, going from an A flat, an A natural and a B flat. So those are 4 really cool variations. So what I want to do is grab the backing track now and play each of those one by one so you can hear what they sound like in context. Guys, if you're enjoying this lesson, I would love to ask you to subscribe to the eBassGuitar YouTube channel. We release a lesson like this every single week, designed for the beginner to intermediate bass player who wants to push their bass playing on to the more advanced levels. There is a red button somewhere around this video where you can subscribe and be the first to know when a new video goes live. So that is the basic concept behind the chord tone approach film. It sounds really fantastic, but we can start taking it to another level where we combine 2 of them together, which is what I'm going to show you now. So we're going to take the original groove, but only play the first 2 notes of the C7 groove. So then what we're going to do is we are going to place 2 3-note fills together. So we're going to approach the C octave here, and we're going to approach the E there. So we're going to approach the C landing on beat 3, and we're going to approach the E landing on beat 4. We're going to approach them with 2 16th notes before chromatic notes. So we're going to go B flat, B natural, C like this, and then D, D sharp, E like this. So the C7 bar sounds like this. And again. And put it together with the G minor. So you can hear how effective putting these 2 of these little fills together is, but we can do this across all of the chord tones. So we could go from the E to the G like that. So we end up with this. So approaching the E from 2 half steps below, approaching the G from 2 half steps below. So like that. And you could try hitting the flattened 7th here, the B flat, and the C octave up here. So we could go A flat, A natural, B flat, and then we play the B flat again, and then we could go B natural, C like that, with the groove. So what I want to do now is demonstrate when we put 2 of these chord tone approach fills together, what it sounds like with the backing track, so you can hear it in context. So that is the chord tone approach fill, and it's super powerful, especially if you want to combine fundamental grooves down in the lower register of the instrument with really great sounding fills using the rest of the fretboard. And what you're going to discover is that you're going to start cherry picking the fills that I showed you earlier, because some will sound musically better than others, and also some will fall more easily under your hands too. So you'll start building up your arsenal of fills that you've got to explore. But I want to plant one more idea with you before we finish, and it's inspired by the Ray Brown idea that I showed you earlier. Why don't we connect 3 of these little 3-note fills together so we end up with this idea? So you can get this big extended fill which goes from the lower registers up into the upper frets up there. It's a great idea once you start digging into these concepts. So what I want to do is finish this lesson with a bit of a jam so you can see me exploring these ideas and using them in context. So I'll leave you with a jam and I'll see you next time. So guys, that's the end of today's bass guitar lesson. If you've enjoyed it, make sure you grab the free PDF so you can see everything we've discussed today written out in standard notation and tab. Also, if you're looking to push your bass guitar playing forward, make sure you jump over to eBassGuitar.com and check out the Bass Lab Plus. This is a full step-by-step program designed especially for the beginner to intermediate bass guitar player. So make sure you click the link in the description below where you can grab your free 14-day trial to take it for a test drive. Cheers, I've been James from eBassGuitar.com and I'll catch you next time.